So, guys, we're finally near to the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Oh, it's been such a long journey. After years and years of petitions fighting by the fans, we're finally getting the movie right now. And a few hours ago, the social media embargo for the reactions of the movie lifted, and now we actually have some reactions to talk about. Most of the reactions have been pretty positive. Now, these reactions are from fans and critics who got to see the movie early. And a lot of the critics and fans actually point to a very inspiring movie about these DC characters. A lot of the fans also have put emphasis on the chemistry shared by the cast, and there's also a lot of emphasis on Ray Fisher's cyber, which I think is great. Finally, he's getting the spotlight. We literally saw, I don't know, 10 minutes of him in the theatrical version, so this is going to be a lot more of Ray Fisher Cyborg. Zack Snyder always envisioned his Justice League movie to have the cyborg character as the heart of the movie, so it's actually great that he's getting a lot of attention right now. Another thing that's been talked about by the that's been said in the reactions is the fact that this film has a lot of humor, and it also has a broader appeal, is what many people are trying to get to. So I think that's great. Now, Zack Snyder's Justice League was always going to be a lighter tone movie. That's how they always built this up to be. I think BVS is always supposed to be the darkest chapter in their supposed trilogy. So I think that's completely okay. And when you get all these characters interacting with each other, I think the tone already will get lighter organically. But that's the point. Many people are pointing to the humor to be more organic than the forced sort of humor in the theatrical Justice League movie that we don't really need to talk about. But but hey, that's it. I think also now the 4 hour runtime was also a topic for discussion in many of the reactions. Some of the reactions have said that the 4 hours is like a breeze. It just like you won't even notice that it's actually 4 hours. It feels like a 2.5 hour movie. So I think that's great. I think I had similar reactions to the Ultimate Edition of BVS, where the movie was actually 3 hours long, but it did not feel like 3 hours. However, on the other side, there are also some reactions, or at least one reaction that I found saying that it just feels like a bloated version of the theatrical release, and it's just 2 hours of deleted scenes with finished effects. Now, however, note this reaction is also pretty positive, and this the person giving this reaction has had some I wouldn't say issues, but some problems in the past with Zack Snyder. Like, let's just leave it at that. So, but just putting that aside, like, I can totally see someone who's not really into the movie to feel this way. So, according to this reaction, he says that it's just 2 hours of deleted scenes, and it's pretty much an extension of the theatrical release, the core story of the theatrical release. And now, mind you, the story was always going to be similar to the theatrical release. It was more about how they did it, how they executed it. That was always going to be different. But anyway, like, so there is this one reaction, like, that is criticizing the runtime, and I'm pretty sure there's probably more reactions like this also. Who knows? But I think for many people, the 4 hour runtime was always going to be that one factor that they were like, shit, man, that's a long movie. But fear not. I think Zack Snyder has done a pretty good job here. What he has done is he has actually divided the movie to chapters, so there are endpoints throughout the 4 hour runtime where you can just pause and maybe take a bit of a breather if 4 hours is a bit too much for you. But I think that's it. It's mostly been very positive. The reactions all around, with a lot of emphasis on it being an inspiring take on these Justice League characters, and there's also a lot of emphasis on it being a humorous movie, which I think would probably increase the appeal of the film. Like, let's just see. But I think the most important thing is that most people have pointed the humor to be an organic part of the movie and not something forced, which is, I think, great. Now, it's probably worth pointing out that even BVS had pretty positive social media reactions, but once the critic review embargo sort of like was lifted, that's when we got all the negative sort of reviews coming in. And I think the critic review embargo is going to be lifted tomorrow, so we'll see what the reactions of the film out there are like. But like, honestly, Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be pretty much critic proof. Now, first of all, there's no theatrical release, so we are not going to be judging the film based on box office reception. And this is more than a film, guys. Like, this is a result of fans campaigning for the release of the original director's vision, and this is not something that really happens these days. Like I think I can think of very few occurrences of this happening in the past. A director who left the project in very sad circumstances, and this is a very beautiful story of fans all coming together, campaigning for him, campaigning for his original vision. And I think, let's just leave it at that. I know people will say that, oh, it's a very toxic fan base. Oh, like, let's just leave all of that. It's just that. So anyway, like tomorrow, if the critical review embargo lifts, I would probably do a video about that also. But anyway, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and also maybe share this video out there. That'd be great. Also, do hit the subscribe button. We did a podcast last week on the Zack Snyder movies, basically Man of Steel and BBS: The Ultimate Edition. We also planning to do a podcast on Zack Snyder's Justice League this week once it releases. We do a podcast every Saturday, so stay tuned and maybe check that out. It's pretty long. And it's sometimes goes near to an hour. We just keep on rambling. We're not quite sure why, but anyway, but, but anyway, like that's it, guys. Do have a great day ahead.